5 on Your Side at 10 starts now.
It was a Chamber of Commerce type day today. Beautiful weather all across the region with temperatures into the 60s. We're headed to the 70s though. I got your full forecast coming up.
Closing time altered in Alton.
And that could be the difference between us being here and not being here.
The solution to downtown disturbances that bars fear will cause them to go belly up. Our top story, a district championship title stripped.
Devastating. I don't know what to say to my young men.
The kick in the gut for a high school soccer team.
That title was stripped away less than 48 hours after St. Mary's Southside Catholic High School soccer team won the district championship. Good evening, I'm Mike Bush.
And I'm Kelly Jackson. The move by state officials comes after several St. Mary's players were involved in a fight. 5 News' Robert Townsend has reaction from all sides, including the high school's fuming president.
Devastated.
Mike England, the president of St. Mary's Southside Catholic High School, didn't hold back.
This was a horrible day at school for our young men who won the soccer team.
Last Thursday, a fight broke out during the semifinal match between St. Mary's Southside Catholic High School and Gateway Science Academy Charter School. England says they suspended 6 players who left the bench and joined the fight.
What happened at the end of that game was unacceptable. Our players do not behave like that. And so we knew we needed to go and talk with the state because we knew that this was serious.
The Missouri State High School Activities Association told the school's athletic director the players involved in the fight should be suspended and receive red cards. St. Mary's then won the championship game against Valley Park on Tuesday. However, the state then stripped the team of its district title because it says the team used players who should have been suspended.
And we were fully prepared that if they said to us, you're going to have to forfeit your next game, we would have forfeited the next game.
England says they did what the state asked, and yet their team's title was still taken away. Misha said in part, our role is to ensure fairness, consistency, and the safety of student athletes. The state also said our review determined that required suspensions were not applied. England says the championship title controversy has affected students, soccer parents, and their entire St. Mary's family.
It was a heated moment.
Gabriel Teeter says his 15-year-old son was involved in the soccer team brawl. He, too, doesn't think the team's championship title should have been stripped.
It's heartbreaking to see the kids achieve something and then get it taken away so quick.
Robert Townsend, 5 on Your Side.
England also says as of today, no one from Misha has called him to discuss why the state took away the soccer team's district title in the first place.
Turning now to your weather impact forecast. A clear and mild night for November across St. Louis. Meteorologist Lance Blocker is tracking a big warm up for the start of the weekend, right, Lance?
Yeah, we're looking forward to that for sure. Heading out the door tomorrow morning, temperatures are still going to feel nice and comfortable for us here, upper 40s to lower 50s to start out the day. But check this out. As we get to 11 a.m., 71 degrees. We're looking forward to that. A nice sunny day for us here across the area tomorrow. And looking into the weekend, though, if you like tomorrow's forecast with highs into the mid-70s, how about the upper 70s? That's where we're headed on Saturday. If you've got outdoor plans, anything to get done around the house, yard work to catch up on, Saturday is the day to do it. A few passing clouds, otherwise just a pleasant day across the region. Maybe some breezy conditions, too. Wind gusts upwards of 15 to 20 miles per hour. Then towards Sunday, though, we do get a little bit cooler, more seasonable weather for us here. We'll see highs into the low 60s. That's about where we should be for this time of year. Here's the other good news. We're bringing all good news for us here tonight. A better chance of rain, more signals in the forecast data as we move through the next 6 to 10 days. We'll talk about that and more in your forecast coming up in about 10 minutes.
It's official. In the name of public safety, 16 bars in Alton will no longer be able to stay open until 3 a.m.
The city council voted to cut down on late night liquor sales. Tonight, 5 on Your Side's Laura Barczewski went to some of those affected establishments in downtown Alton for reaction.
When the clock strikes 1 a.m. in 2026, Alton bars will close their doors to late night business, saying goodbye to thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars in liquor sales.
It is almost 27% of gaming that comes in after 1 a.m. I believe that it is 17% of what is rang on the register is after 1 a.m. as well.
Michelle Erder, who goes by Tia, is the senior bartender at Danny's Lounge, an Alton dive that opened in the 1950s and is open until 2 a.m. on weeknights and 3 on weekends. She says they originally brought their concerns about public safety to the city years ago, but didn't think it would affect them in this way.
We didn't have very many issues out here, but there were quite a bit on the other streets.
The Alton Police Department shared a series of videos on Facebook of fights and shots fired incidents ahead of the city council meeting where the decision was made, showing people in large crowds in the street.
This is your only warning.
Alton Police Chief Jarrett Ford said in a statement, "I want to commend our officers for the extra work they've put in, both on regular shifts and additional duty details to ensure a consistent message is clear. Open drinking, loitering, and violence will not be tolerated."
Do you think that this closing time early is going to make it safer?
No, I don't think it's going to make any difference whatsoever, but piss people off.
Tia says this bar means the world to her. At the end of the day, they want people to be safe too, but at what cost?
This is my home. This is my livelihood. This is my owner's livelihood, and they've put 10 years, heart and soul into this business. It's devastating. It could be the end of it if they take these hours away from us.
In Alton, Laura Barcheski, 5 on your side.
Alton Mayor David Goen supported the change, saying, quote, "I understand their concerns about potentially losing any hours of business each day. However, the cost of maintaining late night liquor licenses, both financial and to our community, are too high." City officials were not available to comment on camera. Again, the new ordinance goes into effect at the start of the year.
Boeing workers will return to the assembly line in about 3 days after more than 3 months on the picket line. The machinist unit approved Boeing's latest contract offer today with 68% of the vote. The contract included a $6,000 ratification bonus and a 24% wage increase. Members will return to work on Monday. They say they were ready to get back to work.
I felt that it was time, considering with the different contracts we've gone through. So I felt at this time of the year it was time to really put in a yes vote.
In a statement, Boeing said they look forward to bringing the full team back.
Tonight, the federal government is back open. The longest U.S. government shutdown ever ended about 24 hours ago. Federal workers will start getting paychecks, including back pay, as soon as Saturday. However, the impacts could linger for some time in our nation's airports. There is still a 6% reduction in flights through the weekend as air traffic control towers deal with a worker shortage. There's no timeline when flights will return to normal operations.
And when it comes to those all-important SNAP benefits, the USDA says states should receive full funding for federal food stamps anytime now. However, recipients may not see those funds in their accounts until Monday.
A St. Louis nonprofit did everything possible to serve families impacted by the government shutdown.
Our Justina Carnell sat down with their executive director, who explained it's a full circle moment to give back.
So right now we're sitting in our literacy lab. This is the room where children in this early childhood center get to come and experience books written by authors that look like them, about children that look like them.
Either by print or picture, each publication is representation. The main theme here, to believe.
We are an extension of the family. We're part of their village.
Creating this village is Cortega Collins, executive director of the Good Shepherd Early Learning Center in the West End. The government shutdown shook the center to its core.
Because we're so heavily reliant on government funding, we were nervous, to say the least, about the future of our contract and our services that we provide to families.
Good Shepherd partners with Head Start, a federally funded program providing early childhood education services to low-income children and families. Fortunately, the center's partners kept the business going.
Right now, we are not in jeopardy of losing our slots or losing our funding right now. So right now, things are secure.
There were other risk too. All of the families they serve qualify for SNAP benefits.
This location, we're already in a food desert, right? There's a lot of food insecurity in this community. And so without the benefit of SNAP, then that adds an extra layer of concern.
That's why the center offered dinner to its 60 children and sent food home to families.
I understand the detrimental effects of growing up in poverty. I also understand that sometimes people just need exposure. They need help. They need to know that there's a better way.
There's no better person to lead them than Collins.
When I was a college student, again, I was a single parent and I was a teenage mom. So when I was in college, I had to rely on SNAP benefits to help me feed my son. So I understand how important it is to be able to have that extra arm of support.
She understands the incredible pursuit for greater possibilities. That's why Collins built this space, a place for children to believe.
I want to be able to reach back to people who are doing the same thing and help them to reach their goals.
Justina Cornell, 5 on your side.
And recently, the organization held a gift card and diaper giveaway. More than 100 families received gift cards, and close to 2,000 diapers were handed out.
5 on your side's Thanksgiving food drive, sponsored by Thrivent Financial.
Even with SNAP benefits restored, thousands of bi-state families are struggling ahead of Thanksgiving. 5 on your side and Thrivent are teaming up with Operation Food Search to help our neighbors in need. And every dollar you give provides $6 in food. Donate, just scan the QR code on your screen. And for a full list of sites still collecting and distributing food to those in need at this time, just text the word food to 314-425-5355 and we'll send you a link.
About 90 minutes ago, a celebration wrapped up of people trying to make a difference in St. Louis. Mission St. Louis and Show Me Peace held its 5th annual Staying Power Awards at the 21C Museum Hotel in downtown. 12 people who made changes to their own lives and are now helping to change the community.
We often talk about the things that happen bad in our city, right? We get an opportunity to look at individuals who have not only changed their lives, but now they're being change agents in our city as well.
Besides awards, recipients received a check to help continue their mission to better the community.
A Good Samaritan gunned down by a Missouri airman.
We had a courageous individual who intervened.
The domestic dispute that turned deadly. Big bucks for a big breach. The deadline for AT&T customers to claim a possible $7,500 check with their name on it.
Rounding out the work week with beautiful weather. Tomorrow's highs will be in the mid to upper 70s across the region. I got to look ahead at what to expect this weekend, too, coming up in your forecast next.
Tonight, a 19-year-old convicted felon is being held without bond for a deadly shooting at a South St. Louis home. Police say the violence happened in front of 3 small children, ages 3, 5, and 6. Prosecutors charged Elijah Curtis with several counts, including first-degree murder and child endangerment. 63-year-old Russell Marcoulier was killed in the November 1st shooting on Alabama Avenue in the Carondelet neighborhood. According to court documents, Curtis accused the victim of stealing $20 from him before opening fire.
Tonight, we know the identity of the airman from Whiteman Air Force Base accused of shooting and killing his neighbor before taking his own life.
The shooting happened yesterday morning in the town of Warrensburg, about 20 minutes away from the base. Police say Gayuza Ingram shot and killed Tony Barron, an unarmed Good Samaritan. Witnesses say Barron intervened in a domestic dispute.
He grabbed her and then they were walking towards back to the apartment, and then I saw a guy was saying, "Hey, let her go."
We had a courageous individual who intervened and unfortunately did not make it.
Ingram was off duty at the time of the shooting. The woman was treated and released from the hospital.
A consumer alert tonight for current and former AT&T customers. You now only have 5 days to claim your part of a $177 million settlement. It covers 2 data breaches from last year. Customers impacted by both data breaches could receive up to $7,500. The deadline to submit a claim is next Tuesday, November 18th.
Sunday marks 6 months since the May 16th tornado devastated North St. Louis. And tonight, Mayor Kara Spencer is talking about the city's ongoing response with 5 on your side. Right now, many homes in the tornado zone are still in the early stages of recovery, Blue tarps cover many roofs as tornado debris litters neighborhood streets and sidewalks. Mayor Spencer says the cleanup will take years to complete with the help of local and federal assistance.
You know, much of it's going to depend on whether or not we're rebuilding brick structures, how the rebuild is going to move forward. We're standing up and working with community to really develop and drive what that rebuild looks like. And that's going to really determine what the end price tag is going to be for the broader community.
The storm is estimated to have caused more than $1 billion in damages. You can catch more of Mayor Spencer's interview tomorrow morning at 10:30 on The Record with Mark Maxwell.
Tonight, a piece of the St. Louis skyline for the last half century is coming down. Demolition work began at the old Millennium Hotel today. It has to come down piece by piece because of its close proximity to Busch Stadium and some other downtown buildings. The hotel, once known for its revolving top-of-the-tower restaurant, has been vacant since 2014. A new $670 million development featuring residential, office, and retail spaces is planned for this site.
Big Brothers Big Sisters of Eastern Missouri took over Top Golf in Chesterfield tonight. Kids, their families, and mentors stepped up to the tee to take part in a friendly competition. Proceeds from the second annual Top Golf Takeover benefits the organization's year-round mentoring programs, which reaches more than 9,000 youth in our region.
A birthday bash today at St. Louis Children's Hospital. Louis, the St. Louis Blues mascot, celebrated his 18th birthday with some friends and those young patients. Fred Bird and NJ Devil of the New Jersey Devils joined Louis by going room to room, visiting the kids, and putting a smile on their faces.
He has not aged a bit, that Louis.
He really has.
Meteorologist Lance Blockers here with the weather impact forecast as we head into the weekend. It's going to be a little warmer.
It's
Yeah,
gonna be
a little
nice.
warmer. It's going to be like California.
No, yeah, we've got a great weekend ahead for us here all across the region. Temperatures in the 70s and 80s. In fact, let's go and check it out right now. You can see over the next few days that big warm up, but it's not going to last very long. We're going to head back to near normal temperatures. At least it won't be too cold, right? Temperatures tomorrow again into the mid 70s. On Saturday, mid to upper 70s across the region. Again, no chance of rain either up until Monday. But it's a little bit deceiving, though. What you can see here is a 20% chance of rain during the daytime hours on Monday. Monday night, different story. And look at this. We got a 50% chance of rain of scattered showers as we get into the end of next week, too. So we got a lot to get to in the forecast ahead. We'll go ahead and jump into that. So again, this weekend, everything's nice and quiet. If you can get outside, enjoy some of that weather, get out there and do that. It's going to be perfect weather Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. The warmer temperatures, of course, just tomorrow and Saturday, but Sunday still pleasant with highs in the low 60s. Then we get our first system. This is system number 1 now, Monday night. Again, this is through 10:15 showing here a few scattered showers pushing in advance of this low pressure center with a trailing cold front. That will push through our region over the coming days. Again, Monday night is what we're keying in on right now. That's slightly subject to change, but the forecast models have been fairly consistent with that. In the long-term forecast, looking ahead towards the end of next week, perhaps next Thursday or Friday, another system brings more widespread rain. So that's 2 good days worth of rain, and we need it too. We're still, believe it or not, under a level 3 drought across the region. This is a moderate drought for most locations, severe drought off to the north there as well. So we're still very dry. Any rain is very welcome into the area. The first round looks like it's going to be between 1/4 inch and 1/2 inch. That second round, I'll tell you, I've been watching the forecast model data on it. It does indicate a little bit better, higher rain chances with that next system. So we'll keep an eye on that. Of course, it's still pretty far out into the future there to keep you advised on that. But again, for now, the main headline going into this weekend, warm weather for us here tomorrow with highs in the mid 70s. Look at the average high of 57 degrees this time of year. So technically we'll be above that mark all 5 days, but the next 2 days noticeably warmer than average. Here it is again in full view for you. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday all looking really good. Again, that chance of rain, it really peaks Monday night with probably about a 40 to 50% at this point, but we'll take the rain chances into next week as well.
All right, Lance, thanks. Corey is here with sports.
Well, there's a few Cardinals off-season rumblings on the rise, a big change in store for MLS, and some historic dominance at Lafayette High School. Sports is up after the break.
And it's Throwback Thursday on the 5+ streaming app. Tonight at 10:30, we're taking you back to October 8th, 2004 for an extended newscast, coverage of the 2004 presidential debate at Washington University. You can watch for free on your Roku, Apple, Fire, Samsung, or LG TV. Just search for KSDK in your app store.
Well, when I go to Las Vegas, I usually come back to St. Louis with a lighter wallet and larger stomach. When Cardinals president of baseball operations Chaim Bloom returns from the GM meetings in Vegas this week, he could be coming back to St. Louis with some potential deals. There's some Cardinals rumblings out there to begin the offseason. The St. Louis Post-Dispatch's Derek Gould reports the Royals and the Guardians are interested in trading for Brendan Donovan. The Athletics' Ken Rosenthal and Katie Wu report the Cardinals want to hang on to Alec Burleson and Ivan Herrera. And MLB.com's John Denton reports that the club has been listening to offers on starter Sonny Gray. It could be an eventful few months for the new man in charge. Major League Baseball handed out MVP awards tonight, and it's a pair of back-to-back winners in each league for the first time ever. Dodgers superstar Shohei Ohtani won in the NL, his third in a row and fourth overall. And in the AL, Yankees slugger Aaron Judge won his third, beating Seattle catcher Cal Raleigh by just 4 first-place votes.
This 5 on Your Side St. Louis City SC coverage is sponsored by Together Credit Union.
Big news in Major League Soccer today. Starting in 2027, the league will move its schedule to summer to spring model. Matches would start in late July, take a break in the winter, then resume in February. The playoffs would conclude in late May. The shift would closer align the MLS with league calendars around the world. SLU Hoops is back in action this weekend. They host Grand Canyon on Saturday. Things have gone swimmingly for Josh Schertz's squad so far this season. The fewest points they've scored in a game, 92. However, the team knows it's just a matter of time until adversity arrives, and it may even be here this weekend.
So there's a lot of things, like as a team, we haven't even encountered yet. We haven't encountered a close game. We haven't dealt with really much adversity outside of like playing time or things of that sort. We haven't dealt with like real adversity, you know, the sky's falling type stuff. And so all those things are coming. Like we're humble enough to know that, you know, the adversity is around the corner.
We are getting ready for another strong week of high school football playoffs around St. Louis. Over in Illinois, the Cahokia Comanches will be trying to advance to the state semifinals on Saturday. Cahokia made a run last year as well and has been building up their program under head coach Darian Donald.
He got a saying, say the Comanche way. I take that a little personal. I take it to heart. I gotta keep the Comanche way in the school building, when you're outside of school, off the field, on the field, everywhere.
You can't get the big head or anything like that. Like you can't think just because you won next week, take the next week for granted, because the next week not promised.
We take pride in being the Comanche. We come out here, we execute the standard. We hold ourselves to a different caliber than everybody else. I mean, being the Comanche is everything to me.
Well, if you're talking about high school volleyball dominance in the state of Missouri, the conversation begins and ends in Wildwood. With yet another state title last Friday, the Lafayette Lancers are a certified dynasty on the court.
In Lafayette, Wildwood is your Class 5.
Winning one state title is exhilarating.
Like everybody rushed to the court. Kind of felt like everything stopped for a second, and then you just kind of take it all in and you're like, wow, like we really just did that.
But at Lafayette High School, one state title is just a quarter of the story. With their win over Lee Summit North, the Lancers captured their 4th straight volleyball state title and a 40-1 record on the season. That's a dynasty.
So I think when you talk about developing year to year and using the words like dynasty and culture, I think it's not a one-year thing. And so I credit, you know, really our last decade of seniors.
And this senior group is in the rarest of air. Literally all they've known in their 4 years is state titles.
When I'm older, saying I won 4 state championships in high school is just so unreal.
The standard is high at Lafayette. The program has 10 state titles overall, but that pressure creates champions.
Everyone has a lot of expectation for us, but we kind of thrive off that.
And now the latest Lancers have their own memories for a lifetime.
It was really a surreal feeling, especially because I am a senior. You know, I'm not playing in college, so this is like kind of like my last hurrah, and it is really special, like being a part of something like that.
Like especially with this group of girls, like we were all so close and we all like bonded together, and I would not want to do it with like anyone else.
Quite an accomplishment for Lafayette, and especially those seniors. Not a lot of athletes out there who can say they have 4 state championships.
Very few. Corey, thanks.
All right, breakfast bedlam, the unwanted visitor costing the school dearly.
The holidays are racing toward us, and tomorrow they'll wave the green flag for Wonder Lights at Worldwide Technology Raceway in Madison, Illinois.
For $30, cars can drive around the track through animated and synchronized holiday light scenes. Wonder Lights runs through January 4th. And if you're ready to trim your tree, you can beat the rush and beat the cold this weekend. Eckerd's Cut Your Own Christmas Trees open Saturday. You can take a wagon ride through the Belleville Farm to pick your perfect tree. Field tickets can be bought online.
A wild start to the school day in Ohio. A deer going full speed crashed through a window of a junior high cafeteria. Some students and staff were inside and they ran out of the room. The deer, though, finally ran out a back door and back into the woods without causing any more damage. Unfortunately, no people were hurt.
That deer was sprinting.
Well, I just think about the people who are in a middle school.
I know.
And, you know, they're not necessarily paying that much attention to what's going on around.
No.
That would really
goodness.
be scary. There you have it. 5 on your side at 10. We're always streaming on 5+.
Be sure to start your day with Today in St. Louis. That starts at 5 a.m. Have a great tomorrow.